morning. It is Thursday, August 14th. This is the Automotive State of the Union. I'm Paul J. Daly. This is Kyle Mountsier. Talking about EV infrastructure, the longest range Tesla ever, and an airplane powered by the sun. It doesn't need to touch the ground once you put it in the air.
I love it. It's just magical. The things that we get to talk about every single day are just it's amazing. It's amazing. This world is just creating things that you know. You'd have told your grandma that was going to happen. Future, man. Living in the world of the Jetsons.
My son Miles and I watched Back to the Future 2 last week. He never seen it.
Yeah.
And I was like, so this is what we thought the future was going to be like back then. And that future was like, what? It was like 2016 or something. I can't remember, 2017,
right.
whatever it was. Yeah, I was like,
so
we failed on so many stuff. But however, if you go back and watch it, some of the style's on point.
Of course.
Like, actually, yeah. That does look like something people
the kids are wearing that these days.
The kids are wearing that these days.
Unfortunately or fortunately, whichever
we're not going to weigh in there. What do we know? Listen, we do know there's an upcoming ASOTO Edge webinar next week with our friends at Widewell, the 2025 halftime report on dealer reputation. We've seen some of the data, got a little sneak peek, and it's worth checking out. A few surprises in there for sure. You can make sure you're a part of that webinar next Wednesday by going today, right now, to asoto.com and registering for the webinar. You can be there live. You get the recording. Either way, this is data that you want to see and figure out how you can make some halftime adjustments, get you in the mood for the NFL, talking about halftime.
There you go. There you go. Hey, we also we have a new Auto Collabs episode out with our good friend, just a really good friend, Lori Halter. She's just got some of the energy that you want to be around. But her organization and PR organization is putting together this AI document, deep research paper, and we got to talk to her a little bit about what they learned, what they saw, what they're thinking about, and the types of products and things that are coming to the industry. So check out, you can search that Auto Collabs anywhere where you get your podcasts.
There you go. Let's talk about some news today.
Let's do it.
Despite challenges in EV sales, the U.S. fast charging network is actually rapidly expanding and may meet infrastructure goals whether or not EV adoption keeps pace. The U.S. hit nearly 60,000 fast charging ports in Q2 and is on track for 19% growth in 2025. Private investment, not government aid, is fueling most of the growth as NEVI, that's the big fund that they put aside, to like spend a number of billions of dollars and build 2 chargers. Those funds stalled, but new players like Ionna and Mercedes-Benz are expanding fast. Tesla obviously dominating still with 54% of the market share on these fast chargers. Electrify America and ChargePoint still trailing at under 8%. So there's a lot in between.
The rest of the market makes up, like these split up percentages. Wow.
So here's a quote from Loren McDonald, chief analyst at Paren. She says, or he or she, I don't know if it's a man or woman, says there will be more choice, more infrastructure, and hopefully better experience for EV drivers. This comes as U.S. EV registrations are up 4.6% in June, but market share overall slipped from 8.6 to 8.6, down from 8.8% last year, signaling, right? People are not, it's not growing as fast. It's growing.
It's not growing as fast. It's actually, I think we're leveling out to a point where the EV infrastructure and the demand can kind of like keep pace together.
Yes.
Obviously the private opportunity to meet this demand has to be there. I still, it's kind of blowing my mind that these all of the gas and oil companies have not started to pivot some of their strategy more toward making space at their places for these EV chargers and owning them. I think that once that happens, you're going to get instant scale because you're going to have a gas station with an EV charger right next to each other. And that'll be that'll be the accelerator, in my opinion, just because of its location, right? Where are these places that people can go to do this?
Without a doubt. Final little note to the story, though. Tesla registrations are down 6%, while GM with Chevy is up 152% and Cadillac up 80%, showing some momentum shifting amongst the major players. Speaking of Tesla.
Stop. Segue.
Time. Solid segue on Thursday. Tesla has quietly introduced its longest range Model 3 to date. It's called the Model 3 Plus, and it's capable of up to 515 miles of range. There's a catch. You can only get it in China for now. This is basically the Model 3 Plus is using a more powerful 225 kilowatt motor and an LG supplied lithium ion batteries. It's achieving long range with just basically that 515 miles with just a 78.4 kilowatt battery.
That's
thanks
wild.
to efficiency gains. For as an example, my F-150 Lightning has a 174 kilowatt battery, I believe, or 178. So way
around
smaller
300,
battery.
350 or something like that.
I wish. Yeah, it tells me 300 when it's charged, but then you start driving it. It's like, just kidding.
Just kidding.
Tesla aims to compete directly with some of the high-range local EVs in China, like the Xiaomi SU7, and is expected to launch the model in China by September with a price just under $38,000. So the longest range one being under 38K. This effectively shatters the 700-kilometer psychological ceiling, says Shanghai-based analyst Li Wei.
Yeah, this is going to be really what looks like to be their only competitive advantage in China, because you see so many Chinese manufacturers coming out with significantly lower price models with, obviously not that amount of range, but range that's sufficient for most driving. And so I suspect that this was a competitive advantage. They felt like they could dive into that market and maybe win back some market share where they're losing it very rapidly. But what's crazy is like, that level of expertise, that level of range is actually what Americans are looking for. So it'll be interesting to see when that technology comes across into our borders, because I think that's a big gap to increasing demand.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if this is demand, but
speaking of increasing.
Yeah.
Stop. Segue.
Time. Yeah, this fancy little aviation startup, Skydweller Aero, what a name.
Little.
Just pulled off a wild feat, flying a solar-powered drone for 74 hours straight. They did it not once, but twice without touching down or using a single drop of fuel. The drone looks crazy. You can see it right there. It has a wingspan larger than a Boeing 747 and runs solely on battery power and batteries. Solar power and batteries. It has 17,000 solar cells that fly it during the day, and then it's charging 1,400 pounds of onboard batteries to keep it flying at night. Recent Navy tests suggest big military potential and anti-piracy, smuggling patrols, and backup GPS missions. So just because it can fly long and like stay in the dark. Skydweller also has commercial ambitions, including remote internet delivery and environmental monitoring. There's a lot of money to be made in something that never touches the ground, the company noted.
I'm dying to know how it sounds.
It's probably it's like an EV.
I mean, because you got to think like there's still like wind friction from the propellers.
Well, and there's a lot of props. Yeah, exactly.
There are 1, 2. What's it look like? 1, 2. That's 4 props.
Props. Yeah.
But still, I mean, this being able to keep something in the air based on solar power only, I feel like there's been like no in between. You've seen the ones that they've tried, and they're always super small, and they look like you could just breathe on it and it would fall apart. This thing looks very substantial and obviously has a lot of implications. Like always, right? The military implications are the first ones and why they develop tech, and they'll probably sell it to the military, but also internet deliverability, monitoring environmental changes, and things like that. Like, I think that the thought of a plane being in the air, never having to touch the ground, that is a drone not flied by a human, just gets us one step closer to Skynet. So put some AI on that sucker.
Put some AI on that sucker, and it's over.
And it's watching us all the time. We don't even know it. It's just up there. So you heard it here first. Don't say we didn't warn you.
The lower to ground than the satellite ability to keep something in the air is pretty wild.
It is. I
love the fact that they did it for 74 hours and not 72. They were like, 3 days sounds cool, but go 2 hours extra.
Over 3 days. I just wanted to make sure.
Over 3 days.
I know. I don't know. Well, look, whatever's happening in your life today, we thought that'd be a fun story for you to know about, talk about, share with your friends. But that's why we do the show. That's why we do the email at asodu.com. So you can learn about the industry, share with people, have a conversation, lean into one another, and get something done. We'll see you tomorrow.